Speaking next, we've got Heather Hershey of the Glendale Dreamkeepers Project. Let's have a round of applause. Come on. Thank you very much.
So I'm very honored that the October 7th committee asked me to speak today, and I'm thrilled to look out and see all of you here on this Sunday. I'm thrilled to see you gathered to protest the wars at home and abroad. Glad to see you here today, October 7th, the 11th anniversary of the U.S. invasion and occupation of Afghanistan. I'm a writer, I teach writing, and I like words. When Mara Sanchez asked me to speak today, several words came to mind: language, story, and love. Then I did what writers do and looked up what others have to say about the connection between words and war. If, as Margaret Atwood suggests, war is what happens when language fails, then we need to pay attention to words. Of course, war happens in some lights when language succeeds to paint peoples as others and atrocities as justice. Perhaps Atwood is pointing to the fact that war happens when the conversation fails, when we stop talking to each other, stop listening. The stories we tell ourselves compel our actions in the world. What needs to be said when we talk about war, when we talk about resistance, when we talk about peace? Because right now we have to talk about what is so blatantly missing from the national conversations in the U.S. today. 11 years on, and there is a gaping hole in the rhetoric of the presidential campaign, except on the far left and the far right. The thing is, the old adage about sticks and stones is wrong. Words hurt. Words bottled inside middle school girls who can't even talk to each other about their brother's deportation last week or their father's deportation next week. Words spewed daily in news reports about immigrants, about Muslims, coded racism bottled as family values, what America used to be. Words celebrated on reality TV shows, Borderlands Bounty Hunter, words tossed carelessly in classrooms. Words successfully demean and debase human beings to the degree that other humans see hatred as just. Tomorrow, the U.S. celebrates Christopher Columbus's discovery of the New World. But we know that Columbus made war on the indigenous peoples of these Americas. In his own words, he raped, murdered, and terrorized the people of this land. Further, he claimed to the people that the deaths and losses accrued by his campaign of terror would be their fault, not the fault of Spain, Columbus, or God. Today, Columbus's legacy is alive in the rhetoric of immigration. Subscription to the myth of a heroic Columbus is only possible in a national discourse that maintains the values and goals of Columbus-like imperialism. And how else is it possible that Americans remain silent and sluggish in the response to racist language reminiscent of propaganda, yes, Nazi propaganda? The racism endemic in the so-called debate about immigration is propagated at the highest levels of the U.S. government. And its purpose is the same as the rhetoric that allows the American conversation to block out the voices and stories from Afghanistan, from Iraq, from Pakistan. The purpose of hate-based language is to fuel fear. And when we fear each other, we can hate each other. The opposite of war is love. And I like Bell Hook's assertion that love is a verb. So here's what we do. We love actively and fiercely. We stay strong in the struggle because love is inherent in solidarity. We keep talking like this. We keep gathering and marching and rallying. We keep organizing and advocating and gardening. We tell our stories. We listen. We listen to the stories in our communities. We listen to dreamers. We listen to veterans. We listen to veterans returning from our wars abroad and to those who fight with drones from home. We help propagate alternative stories to the discourses that keep us living in fear of each other. We listen to children. We pay attention. We tear out lawns and plant gardens. We raise chickens and feed our neighbors. We clean up rivers. We walk all day for local candidates. We run for office. We camp in public places. We occupy. We occupy the discourse. We occupy the narrative. We occupy love. So fiercely, truly, in the words of Michael Franti, we must love like our lives depend on it, because they do.
Thank you very much. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.